Hello and welcome to another video on how to become a business consulting freelancer. So in today's video, I'm going to make a quick recap of all of this section that I have learned, as well as dive deep into the section 4 or how to conduct and gather quality data, how to conduct a research and gather quality data. So over the couple last videos, okay, I just recap about the section one or getting started building a consulting career, and not only to learn about this but also to apply that into my life. So first is to understand what are the tasks that a consultant does, which is conduct the research, analyze data, and then present results, as well as how to get the most for your consulting, which before craft an offer, choose a niche or a service that is already in demand, that you have interest, and then solely focus on over delivering value to your client. Because no one is obligated to hire you, and it is your job and your job alone to hone into that specific niche, develop a rockstar solid offer backed by your reputation. So and when it comes to the fundamentals of consulting success, okay, or aka how consulting success looks like, well, like you have cash flow based on the value you provide to your clients, as well as the security, because now you can have multiple source of income by providing value or solving problems to multiple clients in different industries, as well as their flexibility, because now you are in much more control of your time. And also the mistake to avoid, especially when you are starting building your consulting career, is not taking your business serious and choosing a niche that is not on demand. This is the mistake to avoid when it comes to start building a consulting career. So go with a niche that is not on demand, run, and not taking serious your business. So I also look at what are the type of consulting projects, which is the strategic, like this, the strategic, where now here outline is all the business plans that help them to reach their goals, the strategic, the improvement, which now you're going to focus is on certain areas of operations, and the implementation. So based on your strategic and improvement recommendation you made, now it is time to put that practice. And also, when it comes to tools to improve your productivity as a consultant, well, use time blocking and also some productivity tips like eliminate distractions, find a way to get you into the zone, stick to your calendar. The reason why I'm repeating all of this slowly is because in the recent weeks I stick to these tips that Paul Mendes, the Zero to Mastery structure, actually describe and teach us here, and how to become a business consulting freelancer. So stick to your calendar, find a way to get you into the zone or your Zen mode, as well as eliminate distraction, blocking uh, any distracting website. Focus, whether it's dedicating a Pomodoro technique, so 40 minutes to that. Uh, Organize your desk, which is something that slowly I have been doing. Okay, and also very important, don't forget to take breaks because you can lose your shit pretty quickly. In any case, so the other is when it comes to decision making. Okay, now use the Eisenhower matrix to do what is important and urgent today. The things that are important but not urgent, schedule, which is in blue here. Okay, things that are urgent but not important, delegate in orange, and ultimately things that are not important or urgent, don't even think about. So this is the quick recap of the section first. In the section two, we talk about okay, so once you know the fundamentals, it is time to getting started as a freelance consultant. So that is, well, first identify your strengths and weakness, things that you have experienced, that you excel at, or you have interest. And then identify your working style and the different consulting working styles, whether it's one-on-one with a client or training and teaching, as well as the specialized service, which is something that I'm dedicating right now at this moment. It's a specialized service. So I can then migrate to something more okay, or I can scale to something uh, that have a more broad reach. So for example, training and teaching. Okay. So once you identify that, as well as remember to protect your business at all costs. So capitalizing your strengths, identify your working style, and then uh, protect your business at all costs. Now it is time to know how to get started as a consultant. First, the niche. Uh, a lot of people out there in most of this business consulting focus a lot of in niche. You got to niche down, bro, and that's great for your business, but not for your entire brand. And again, this is great for a business at a particular stage because, as everything in life and business, it evolves. So, the niche, which is not a group of keywords, is actually people that they have certain characteristics. They have a large problem to solve, they're actively looking for a solution, they are people to willing to pay for that solution, and it must have something you have interest in. So, for example, in this particular case, right, that I choose Node.js and then Vue and Nux, all of these are to building web application using JavaScript, okay? Because that market is vastly saturated. Uh, Luckily, I find a client that need a hand on their Shopify app. Okay, so he built using Nux. Uh, he built an app extension, a Shopify app extension using Nux. Okay, and since I have experience with Nux, all right, okay, so then I was I could contact the client. However, I didn't know anything about Shopify. So what I did is just develop a roadmap with the help of ChatGPT to actually know more about this, as well as the different features that it provides. First, what is Shopify, why Shopify, and then the several features that provides to merchants, customers, and your business. So that's the whole point of this, to illustrate that much more when you choose a niche, which is another mistake when you choose a niche, that you're gonna stick with that niche forever. No, no, no. And also you're targeting multiple niche at once. In my case, the niche that I'm targeting is Nux specifically and Shopify right now. And this particular niche, the e-commerce industry, especially what you're gonna create is this Shopify uh, stores, Shopify app extensions. The niche in there, uh, it follows actually this characteristic, right? So the niche has a large problem to solve, which is delight customer buyer experience by providing uh, extensions that allow to merchants improve the purchase experience on their online stores. So so this is the large problem to solve, on the e-commerce ecosystem, on the e-commerce industry, is to find new ways to sell that delight customers, boost sales, and building loyalty while allowing you to customize your storefront. Okay, that's great. Okay, this is a niche, Shopify. Uh, there also are people that are there are also people involved in that, as well as there are people that are willing to pay for that solution. Okay, for example, my recent client actually finds several uh, clients uh, so they can sell that particular app extensions to them, all right? Um, yeah, that's great because I also look at, so just to recap about the niche, which is something that they describe here, okay, and the niche, okay, uh, and it has something that I interested, especially on the e-commerce industry. Why? Because this is something that dragged me the attention first, and also, yeah, this is something that dragged me the attention. Okay, and yeah, this is something that dragged me the attention, and also I can include is and I can expand my skill set here with Shopify with previous knowledge on Vue and Nux, how to build user interface as well as building web applications. That's great. That's great. Cool. Okay. So with that, okay, the point of recap this section of the so choose a profitable niche as well as a platform that align with, okay, and mistake to avoid when choosing a platform, that you go with a platform that you're not enjoying using, or that is not on demand, or you're targeting multiple platforms at one. No. And then create your offer by simplify that using a value statement, and then defining is the scope of the work, defining is the deliverables, as well as uh, how success is going to be measured, and be huge in communications. Also, see how you can price your offering, whether it's hourly or per milestone or retail. So the holy grail of the business is to have recurring clients. So the way to build that is to follow a particular guideline which is the value ladder. Okay. Again, this serves as a guideline. So you start at the beginning with a consultation for free. This is when you do some client fact findings or qualification is to see if you are the right person to provide value or to fix their problems. And if it is, then you can push the client up the value ladder by saying, hey, let's go with a 10-hour or 15-hour package. This is to help you put some money in your pocket first, and second, develop a roadmap in where you can tackle. Uh, develop a roadmap uh, to tackle different problems or issues that might arise, and to test you as well for a long-term basis. So after you do that, okay, you're starting to provide value, you gain traction with it, then you can negotiate with the client. Hey, I would like you to have a fixed or a would like to provide a monthly consulting service for, let's say, uh, $240,000 or $3,000, right? For the next 6 months. Okay. So about this contract, so for the next 6 months. But remember that the client is paying is for the value you provide, not how many hours you put in. Meaning that in this contract for the next 6 months, what you can offer them is to, hey, I would like you to define a roadmap in which we can build something. Okay? So that's great. That's totally great. It's also important to, once you create this value statement, create is a service agreement, okay, where you're going to outline key aspects such as project timeline, project overview, timeline, compensations, scope of the work, terms and termination, and agreements. Okay, and when it comes to now put all of that at practice, okay, which is the how to land and find clients. First, don't focus on your on building your portfolio or running pay ads or not focusing on your skill set. Okay, so if you're new to the particular field, it is important to let the client know that even that you are new to the field, you are driven to provide results in order to build your image as a consultant. And if you need to adjust your price, do that. And remember to reach some mutual beneficial agreement with the client, which is exactly in my case, that's what happened. The client actually, I offering is a 10-hour package, but the client said, you know what, let's put it 50 hours. Okay, that's a great sign of that. And uh, then I also be transparent with the client, okay, and where place where you can find like and place where you can find your client, whether it's on Upwork or your existing network. If this is in your existing network, it's also important to use something called CRM or customer relationship management like HubSpot that allows you to keep track every interaction that you're having with your potential client or sell leads and have full visibility of your sales funnel. Remember that the whole idea of this is you're not going to do a project once in a blue moon. You're going here to develop business relationships. All right. So with that, okay, um, another place where you can find, even though that doesn't align 100% with a consultant, is your employment side, but you can go with to get your foot in the door, and then down the line you can migrate to that, that kind of thing. Okay, so after that, okay, I also look at some consultation tips that help you to stand up. Okay, first is remember that this is a numbers game, as well as show your face, and some consultation sell tips like listen more, as well as uh, use speed, use solution selling process, and add free value, which is something that I did with my client. So when it comes to the solution selling process, which is something helpful, especially if you're new to the field or you want to have success here, because you can get quickly motivated after 9 months of not even find a client. Yes, you can quickly get unmotivated. Okay, and with that, okay, the solution selling process helps you to, which is something that was defined by or developed by Frank Watts in 1980s at one laboratory in 1975 at one laboratories, one of the largest computer manufacturing in the world, now gone. Uh, he developed that and then he presented that at Xerox at the 1980s, and yeah, the whole point of this is to diagnose the prospect or sell customer or diagnose the prospect needs. Okay, so diagnose the prospect needs. All right, so yeah, diagnose the prospect needs or opportunities, and I'm doing that slowly to remember that and apply that. So diagnose the prospect needs. Okay, so diagnose the prospect needs or opportunity, and then offer the right product and service for this challenge they're having. So for example, okay, I have a need of preserved coffee in a vacuum that doesn't oxidate that fast, right? So I find on a marketplace, and then what happened? Yes, I know I find out a recipe or a it's more like a can. It's more like a can, right? Where you can now extract the air from it. So that's exactly the whole idea of the solution selling process. You know, this solution selling process works well for business to business sell process when the client or the seller, the prospect need a tailored solution, which is in my case is to preserve coffee. Okay, uh, by extracting is the air. However, for things that sell out of the shelf, that actually doesn't work. Try to sell sand on the Sahara. On the Sahara. Good luck with that. So this is the whole point of this. And then I also look at how to tackle objections, because clients may say, hey, yeah, I would like to work with you, but most of the time it can be boiled down into three aspects, which is the time, money, and value. So if the problem is value, okay, so yeah, if the problem is value, all right, well, you can show your past experience with a client, or if you don't have any experience, well, no problem. Adjust your price and tell them that you're going to provide. You're focusing on the provide outcomes to build your image as a consultant. So that's right. Uh, so yeah, you get is this, for example, uh, the value or time or money. Okay, so once you know how to tackle all of those objections, okay, then you need to know how to receive the client's payment. And this is very, very important, how to receive the client payment, because this is something that most freelancers consulting have and struggle with because they don't have full control of the payment. Okay. And remember, you don't want to get rid of the market. So by get the service agreement signed, and get the payment option secure, whether it's weekly, bi-weekly, per milestone, that kind of things, then is when you can start to offering your service. Okay? And again, the offer is the king and consistency is queen. Okay. So once you know that, okay, and also how to invoice your client, whether it's using online platforms like Upwork that actually generate that for you, like Upwork, or the so Upwork, or um, freelancers, Fiverr, okay, or it can be also personal invoice like Soho Books, or the like Soho Books, as well as uh, Soho Books, PayPal, or QuickBooks, which is another accounting software. So once you know how to send invoice, which is pretty straightforward, it's not that complicated. Now it is time to recap, which is, so once you know how to send a service agreement, so when you know how to find and land a client, you know how to send the service agreement, you get the service agreement signed, you secure the payment, and then you started to providing value and gain traction. Now remember that the ultimate goal of this is to scale your business and becoming a monopoly. But this is another different chapter, okay? Another different episode on your Netflix series. Uh, and then, but anyway, once you know that, okay, remember that the ultimate goal is to scale your business. Referrals are the key to growth. Remember to stand up, be creative, as well as use the CRM, okay? Use the customer relationship management, and don't forget to uh, get leads to your business. All right. So remember that get some business leads, show them value, build up your reputation, and then repeat. Okay. Get some business leads, show them value, and build up your reputation. So that's great. That's cool. Uh, so again, what I did is just a recap of the entire first three models. Okay. So how to get started building a consulting career, getting started as a freelance consulting, and then how to find and land high paying consulting clients. So right now, okay, is on the section 4 on how to conduct a proper research and gather quality data. And remember that data is something very, very powerful because it can help you to inform, persuade, or reinforce your point of view, but also can be misleading. And because of that, especially when you're conducting a research for a consulting project, recognize what is the most valuable to the least valuable. Okay? First party data that come from the company. Usually you have to sign an NDA agreement. Once you do that, then you can see what they have done in the past, how they have been performance, and from there you can provide your suggestions and recommendations. Okay? The other is the second party data that come from trust sources. They are not anonymous. They have research report and peer review. And also the last and the least source of data, is from aggregate sources. For any reason, if you need to access this, it's important to make mention in your report where this data is coming from, because this is the least valuable, because you can verify is all the author, who the author really is, sometimes behind to some paywall. And once you know that, okay, the first is to identify the source of data where you can provide your suggestions. Second is, well, conduct the research, which is see things from different perspectives. Play devil advocate with yourself, because things are not black or white, as well as gather relevant data as much as possible. Also, take notes and keep record of every source you obtain. Qualify the data that you're getting, and don't forget to, after that, circle back with the client. So something that I did particularly in my case is following is the consulting research that Paul Mendes, the Zero to Mastery instructor, did on a tourist website. And the TLDR of this is look at their website, understand, important, understand all their products and service, and then you go into the specific, more about the categories, the pricing, how much of the company, uh, the review about the company, what makes this company unique, to understand that, and from there you can start to uh, providing down the line your suggestions. So once you do that and you gather data, if you can have access to the first party data, which is great, then when you perform the research based on their personal brands, their websites, all the products and servers, their pricings, now it's time to do a competitor analysis to understand about who the other players in that industry are. And that is, see what they're doing, see what you can learn from them, and create a keyword research to understand more about them, that you're going to use as a next step, using, for example, keyword tools out there, uh, like from Google or any other keyword online tool, to understand what's going on in that industry. Okay, and from there, then is when you can now, on top of that uh, research, or this keyword research, to understand what's going on in that industry, now it is time to put uh, put on top of that the worst new, to get up-to-date data and to see, hey, what that everything that I have researched, how is most likely to work today, and that is including is see the regulation of this industry and where this industry is going, which is something that I did with an e-commerce that I conduct. I'm not going to dive into that much, just only to mention that the concept of the e-commerce according to Amazon or Shopify, as well as the different type of e-commerce and the actors involved, such as business, consumers, and governments, how each one of them relate each other, and we're going to dive into those examples, understand where the e-commerce takes place, mobile, social media, or enterprise as well, and who the other players are in that industry, as well as the keyword research to understand what's going on in that industry. And what next, or what lack of this, is the up-to-date news, the pending news. Okay, and when it comes now to gather all of this information and create a visually engaging presentation to your customers, to your clients, this is to tell them, hey, this is my process of everything that I have researched, and I show you with different statistics and charts, show you the meaningful patterns So from there, we can see if we can collaborate uh, in the long run. And also not to see you as another consultant that just do the bare minimum to get by, which is what happened a lot of the time. That's what happened. Okay. Uh, so the things that you can do, for example, when it comes to create your report is, well, before creating that, you know exactly what you're gonna put in there. That's first. Okay. You know exactly what you're gonna put in there. Put the most relevant data first because you don't want the client start to forget what the important thing was. And no one wants to sit at the end of the presentations to know all the good stuff. So by putting the most relevant data first and then expand that with different charts and statistics, you can is save time to the customer and your client, which is something that they're gonna value as well as you. And remember that if you have recurring clients, to use some, let's say, yeah, if you have recurring clients, remember to use some of this. How do you put it? This is yeah. Remember, if you have this recurring client, um, you can Jesus is to have templates so you can speed up that process, the creation process, the creation report process, as well as remember to use charts and yeah, remember to use charts and graph. Why? Because data visualizations helps to make informed decisions. And according to MIT study in 2014, neuroscientists discover that the human brain can detect image as little as scenes for about 13 milliseconds. And so that's actually interesting. So yeah, this is just again you're using is this study to legitimize is um, your selling point or the data visualization. And the several graph that you can use is bar charts, pie charts, line graph, eye area chart, scatter plot, bubble uh, bubble graph or bubble chart, heat maps, geomaps, tables, waterfalls, pictograph, okay, and tools that allow you to leverage your report, which is, well, you can use a statista to get source of the to validate your point of view, right, based on data that come from this think tank, Statista or Google Trends, as well as Microsoft Excel if you want to keep track of your own success or register. Also, when it comes to generate your report, you can do this using Canva as well. All right, or your CRM analytics. So remember to make it easy to follow and see how others are formulating data, because when it comes to show your data, it's important to show them in an organized way, compare with benchmark, as well as uh, stay organized and make it easy to read, because no one is wants to sit at a presentation to see unprecise numbers, uh, or you don't get up-to-date data, right? And also don't lose your data after you present it. Don't lose your data after you present it. So because of that, okay, it's important when it comes now to present that to so follow some consultation tips or communication tips for consultants, such as break down complex topics, show that you understand the goals, as well as avoid miscommunication. Remember to be a team player. Keep track of every interaction that you're having with your clients. Tell the truth and understand what is the working pattern of your client. All right. Sorry. As well as, for example, the client perhaps loves to contact through email, all right? Or the client prefers to do some video calls, that kind of things. And when it comes to now build recurring clients, use the A/B testing for that. Okay, that is follow some practice. To this A/B testing is to test one variable at a time, test one, do one test at a time, test one variable as well, make minor change, very important, as well as split your test randomly, test simultaneously, and remember to decide on significance or prioritize your test before actually do that. Remember to keep track your tests over time, uh, and yeah. And yeah. Okay, so that'll be all for this video. Take care. Bye bye.